What's up, folks? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review Eminem's Encore Skits. Now, this album continues the Eminem show theme with it being like a show and a performance and kind of like an act of some sort. And that's kind of the thing. I mean, the Eminem show kind of introduced that and had more serious topics like Soldier and White America and My Dad's Gone Crazy and those type records. But Encore, minus like a few songs like Mockingbird, Mosh, and Like Toy Soldiers, Eminem really takes kind of like a more comedic tone. And that especially, I mean, most of the time Eminem's skits were funny to begin with, but if he's doing a comedic rap album, then I kind of assume that the skits on this project would be comedic also. But the main thing about it is just these skits, there's not a lot of substance. There really isn't. There's not any interesting topics. I mean, we get another skit from Paul Rosenberg, but there's just not a lot elsewise going on. I mean, Curtains Up and Curtains Down are both not very interesting, so that knocks out two of the five skits. And then you have Final Thought, which is just kind of, I suppose, like behind the stage as Eminem's on the stage killing the folks that he's killing in the Encore song with Dr. Dre and 50 Cent. So that just kind of happens to be the thing. So that only leaves two skits out of five that don't pertain to the curtains of the show going up or down. And that's just Paul and M calls Paul. So that leaves us with just two. That's really, I mean, so it was really light this time on the project. I mean, I guess he put more emphasis just on songs this time. But that just kind of happens to be the thing. So Paul is a good one. I mean, I like that just because his manager is basically saying to him, you know, you need to knock it off with the Michael Jackson jokes because he was still alive back in 2004 when this came out, and he was kind of in the middle of like his trial about his pedophilia and all that. And then there was M Calls Paul, where he has like this robotic voice, and it's okay. It's a nice theme, but I just wish it would have been funnier. I mean, he said some stuff towards Michael Jackson, which he just was basically, you know, listing his songs and saying that he didn't care he's going to do it, and he was talking about wanting to touch him and that sort of stuff. But I don't know. I was kind of, I mean, for 2004, I suppose it was probably stellar, but I kind of figured that Eminem was going to be a little bit funnier on that one. And I mean, really, I mean, the robot voice actually kind of worked, but you know, just to it kind of is. I mean, that's the thing. It fits the bill, but you know, I would almost wonder if Eminem needs like a writer for his skits or something because you know, just kind of hitting up a comedian to kind of help out with that or something. And it's not like it was bad. It just was just serviceable. That's just the thing. I was expecting that to kind of be funnier, especially with that voice, but I don't know. That's just kind of the thing. So Paul and M Calls Paul are like the only real true skits. I like Paul is because Paul is always kind of pissed off about something that he's doing, Eminem is doing that doesn't really fit the bill, but that just kind of happens to be the thing. So that's what you're looking at here. Yeah, so I would, you know, out of five skits on this project, I would have to say that I only really liked one of them. So I'm just going to give this like a 2 out of 10. I mean, really, I was kind of disappointed just because, you know, Eminem was actually funny on songs like Rain Man and Puke, and some of those, in some cases, Big Weenie, and some of those, Just Lose It, Ass Like That. I mean, he had some humor on that project, but it didn't quite make it into the skits. So that just really happens to be the thing. It's a decent album. I mean, I give the Encore project like a solid just because it rounded out his initial lineup of things that he did. This one and then Curtain Call, but it just didn't quite live up to the I mean, I felt like the Eminem show skits were good, and so were the Marshall Mathers LP. There's no Ken Kniff, and you would have thought that there would have been more things on Eminem's mind comedically to do that when he's doing a comedic rap album. But I guess he just preferred to let loose in the songs this time. So that's kind of the thing, but it is what it is. So, but they're worth at least listening to a couple times. So if you're thinking like, okay, well, should I ever decide to listen to these? I mean, they're worth like a spin or two, but they're not really classic or top notch.